Hello, welcome to Appliance Master Live. I'm Bill, and today Tiffany is with me.
Hello.
I think we're going to talk about residential refrigeration of all sorts.
I'm going to talk all about refrigerators. It is the hottest time of year in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, so routine maintenance on your refrigerators is very important and especially necessary at this time of the year. So, Bill, would you explain to us in maybe more technical terms why refrigerators have a harder time cooling in the hot temperatures of the summer?
Okay, well, your key word there was humidity, because even though temperatures are, and a lot of people even have air conditioning on in their homes, but even with air conditioning on, the temperature is cooler, but the air is still a lot more humid. And the humidity, it requires a lot more work to get the heat out of water. The higher the water vapor, there's more heat contained in that humid air. So even if you're, all things being the same, your house temperature is, if it's at 72, like even today, you feel it's much more humid.
Oh, yeah.
And so all your refrigeration products have to work harder to get that heat out of that and that humidity out of the air.
Okay.
So.
That makes sense.
Okay. First thing I said today that did. Anyway.
So, how do you know when your refrigerator is going out? Or like it's going to stop cooling?
Well, it's funny. Your refrigerator is probably like the, I don't know, it's the most social appliance in your house. It'll tell, like, when it starts to go bad, it'll let you know in so many ways. Like, for instance, one of the key things is like, just touch it. Like, even though this is an ice makers, under-counter refrigerators, big refrigerators, they're all have similar parts. So you can just touch the cabinet. If the cabinet feels warmer than it usually does, that could be a problem. If it's a little warmer, I'd keep my eye on it. If it feels uncomfortably warm, like that is, it's a sign that trouble might be brewing. Yeah, okay. If it's warm, it's a sign it's working hard. If it's really warm, it's a sign it might be working too hard.
Okay.
So
that definitely helps.
Well, some other things to look out for are ice production. Everybody has, in refrigerators and freezers, they have ice makers. This is a standalone ice maker. If your ice production is off, if it's slower or way off, that's also a sign that it's not keeping up. So it should keep up. I mean, there should be no noticeable change when the humidity comes and the warmer temperatures. So if it's making less ice, that's also that's your refrigerator talking to you, saying like, hey, I'm working too hard.
Okay. Or could it be like a clog in the...
Well, it's still making ice, but just making it slower.
Okay. I learned that today.
Another common thing is frost. Like, people will see, this is probably a bad example, but when you open a door, you might notice frost on the back wall or ice where it shouldn't be. Those are, you should call for service right away, because when you notice frost, I don't want to say it's like a cancer, but it like shows in one spot, but it's probably in a lot of other areas and it's probably growing. So, but when it gets to a certain point, your refrigerator is just going to shut down. You're going to lose it totally. So if you see frost or ice building up, you should call right away and catch it early. Okay. And while your food is still frozen and cool in the refrigerator.
Could that also be caused from like a bad seal, or no?
It could be. Bad seals, you'll see water vapor, moisture inside the door, inside the freezer that will turn to frost. But the real serious stuff is on the back walls of the freezer or refrigerator, where the venting is, where the air flows from inside the refrigerator to the venting.
Okay.
So.
And now, anyone who has pets, is there any like extra steps they should take in maybe the maintenance of their refrigerator? Yeah,
100%. And that's even though you should do that, clean your refrigerator all year long, once or twice a year, you'll notice that more with hotter temperatures. Because I think we have a picture of a dirty condenser. I mean, that's a really dirty condenser, and I think that's mostly dust. That's regular household dust. Why don't we see what a clean condenser should look like? And most time, in fact, all the times, and residential refrigeration, you're not going to see the condenser coil. It's usually hidden somewhere. So you can see regular household dust builds up pretty quick. If you have dogs, cats, it'll build up much faster. And all those other things will occur. The refrigerator will be running longer, ice production will be off, cabinet will be warm, you may see water inside, you know.
So how many times a year would you say you should check the condenser?
If you have at least once a year, and again, if you have one cat, maybe that's fine. But if you have 3 dogs and 2 cats and a little pig named Nelson, I think one of our customers had a pig named Nelson, but they don't have much hair. But if you have a menagerie like that, then you should do it like twice a year. And all it's not just your main refrigerator. You have chest freezers, and your garage refrigerators, your under counter refrigerators, and like this ice maker here this is usually screwed on, so you can't take it off this easily. But this condenser coil's in here, and this is fairly clean because it's a relatively new unit. So, and just cleaning the front of that off is the first step. There's a condenser fan. There's other cleaning to be done. So all your appliances that get cold in your house are going to have something like that in them.
This is any appliances. All
refrigerating appliance,
yeah. And
even some water coolers,
coolers
like that.
Okay. And I think that is.
Oh, well, you know what I forgot to check?
What's that?
Monday morning. How were the phones yesterday?
The phones yesterday?
Yeah.
It was a decent call volume.
Well, because the point I'm getting is like we get no refrigeration calls Monday morning, and we were 100% booked. So we had to move. It's a challenge to get things in. We had to move things to other technicians, and it's like so. If you're noticing any of these signs, don't wait until the 3rd of July at 3 in the afternoon, and when it's going to be next to impossible to get service. Get on these things now. In advance of your entertaining and the really hot weather that's going to come.
So yeah, try and be proactive about it so that you're not spoiling all the food in your fridge and freezer.
All right. Well, you have any other questions? Do you think we're...
No, I think I covered all the questions I had today. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I just want to thank you for filling in today.
And thank you for having me.
Hopefully Kari's watching us from wherever she is on vacation.
Thank you all for watching.
And remember, please like this video or like us on Facebook. And any questions you have, start at APPLIANCEMASTER.com, and gives you our phone numbers, and you can even schedule online. But thanks for checking in this week.
See you. Bye.